We're the Nova Scotia Securities Commission. Maybe you've heard of us, maybe not. It's okay though, as today we'll briefly discuss what is the Nova Scotia Securities Commission. First, let's back up a step. In Canada, each province and territory has a securities regulator. In Nova Scotia, that's us, the Nova Scotia Securities Commission. All 13 provincial and territorial securities regulators work together under an umbrella organization called the Canadian Securities Administrators, or CSA for short. Through the CSA, they cooperate on issues such as policy, education, and enforcement. Back to the Nova Scotia Securities Commission. What do we do for Nova Scotians? Our mandate is to protect investors from activities that undermine fairness and efficiency of capital markets, and to encourage capital formation, but with adequate investor protection. To do this, we regulate, protect, and educate Nova Scotia investors. We regulate all securities and derivatives in the province of Nova Scotia. Securities include investments like bonds, stocks, mutual funds, and ETFs. Derivatives can include options and forward and future contracts. We protect investors from fraud and scams by issuing warnings, alerts, and investigating reported misconduct. We educate by delivering investor education to Nova Scotia investors to help them make informed and safe investment decisions. The Commission itself is divided into 4 main branches: policy and market regulation, investor education, corporate finance, and enforcement. Policy and market regulation deals with the development of all legislation, rules, and policies around securities and derivatives in Nova Scotia. They also deal with the registration of all dealers, advisors, and investment fund managers in Nova Scotia, and the compliance of the firms that employ these dealers, advisors, and managers to make sure they're complying with Nova Scotia securities law. Investor education develops and delivers all investor education programs and campaigns for the Commission. This includes public education initiatives, online content for the Nova Scotia Securities Commission website and social media, and industry partnerships with other organizations that deal with financial literacy. Corporate finance deals with the regulation of issuers, reporting issuers, or public companies in Nova Scotia. Private issuers are also subject to regulation. Corporate finance monitors all ongoing disclosure of information from these issuers, things like financial statements, press releases, and material change reports. Finally, there's enforcement. They enforce the Securities Act in Nova Scotia. They investigate and prosecute violations of Nova Scotia securities law. However, they cannot criminally charge anyone. They are able to issue sanctions and penalties. Any criminal proceedings have to go through local police, RCMP, or the Public Prosecution Service. That's a quick introduction to the Nova Scotia Securities Commission. To learn more, please visit our website at nssc.novascotia.ca and follow us on Twitter at NSS Commission.